Sure, there's actually multiple trees down around this property here on Raven Lane, I should say Southwest Raven Lane in Columbia County. You see this tree down right here. That is the people's home right here. Their backyard has pretty much been torn up. I was just talking to them a minute ago. They said that they heard the winds, they heard everything going on right about 7:10 this morning. We're just walking you through this. We want to show you just how significant the damage is to this backyard. They say they are very grateful. Their actual home is in pretty good shape, but you see the back here, you see the fence is gone, you see that back deck over there just severely damaged. And I was talking to the woman, she was telling me that their pump is gone, so that means no water. They don't even know where it is at this point. And more trees down in this area around this property here on Raven Lane. You see multiple trees. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, absolutely. You see multiple tree limbs down here in the backyard. Hold on, what?
Ask Sluggo to zoom. Ask Sluggo to zoom in on those two broken trees. Pan the camera to the right. There's two pine trees that are broken side by side.
Zoom in on the two broken trees.
The two pine trees right there. So
yes, we're doing that right now, Rich.
Perfect.
You see that right there?
Okay, so one of those.
Yes, that's what we're looking at.
One of those looks like a straight line break. You can see where it's almost a clean fracture. The one that is to the right, that one looks like it has some radial to it, so that could have been evidence of possibly some twisting. That one looks like straight line there as it's almost broken and laying just where it sits. Normally what you see with some rotation is that really frayed type of fracture. With that tree right there, the one that's in the middle where you have a piece that's sticking up and there's a lot of splinters around it, that looks like it could have been possibly in the rotation. But what's really striking, that's a pretty good sized root structure there. Now the canopy is pretty heavy inside of that tree, so to catch some big gusty winds, but that is a lot of roots to have been taken up. And it also looked like there was a trailer that had been flipped over on its side. I can't tell if that was a roof over there. It looks like there's some sort of structure underneath of it, so maybe that was some sort of canopy or an awning. You see where it's pushed up against the house. But I saw it looked like a trailer, a utility trailer that had been flipped over. So what we're seeing here is a little bit of a mixed signal. You'd really have to be down on the ground to where Ashley is to get the full image. But it looks like we saw a lot of straight line winds. We were seeing those with these types of squalls, and that's what I was showing you here, even with that the color red that continued inside of the current warning box. But there's a couple trees that, and again, it might have just been because there were other trees around them that may have caused them to rotate as they were falling. But I'm seeing a lot of breaks that are, everything's in seemingly one direction. If you look at where the wood is there up against the tree or the fence, everything is leaning in one direction and going back over toward that house. I certainly, I don't want this damage for anybody as we're looking at this, but this is why we stop. This is why we pause our hurricane coverage to turn it into tornado coverage, because these watch boxes, they pop up, and no, it may not be a full cycle type of full rotation tornado, but when we're picking up these winds down here at ground level that are strong, gusty, on top of what is already saturated ground cover, this will continue to do damage. Yeah, it does look like that would have been some sort of awning maybe out over the stairs. It looks like some sort of roof and support structure there as it comes down up to the 2x4. Yeah, there you go. I can see the tar, so it looks like maybe they had some peel and stick or some tar over top of that, and maybe some shingles at one point to keep the rain out inside of their front porch or their see where the supports are bent, so it looks like all of that kind of came collapsing down, everything falling like dominoes in one direct. Wow, it folded that piece of aluminum back there. And Ashley, did I hear you say that their water pump was gone? They have not been able to locate it as of yet?
Yeah, that's what the woman was telling me. She said the water pump is missing. She said she couldn't even find it, quite frankly. So she says they don't have any water at this point. So, you were talking about this right here. The house, I want to say, is intact. So I'm trying to figure out where this part that you're looking at, where that came from. There's several pieces, and the pieces material around this property. And you see, Rich, I had some IFE issues. I couldn't quite tell if you were talking about this tree right here that looks uprooted. Yep. Do you see what I'm talking about, Rich?
Yeah, I do. And that's, I was saying that, the things that catch my eye here are what look like right now a lot of straight line wind damage. But wind damage, tornado damage, we're splitting hairs. It's still, the root is still damaged here, and that is a huge root structure. It looks like it might have missed at least some part of that house. Wow, look at the flashing on the side that has been folded back. So on the other side, it looks like that was some sort of aluminum structure. You could still see the two supports, one being bent. But I think the more alarming thing is that the fact that the pump is gone. I don't know if it was inside of a pump house or not, but pumps are tied down to the well pump itself, the plumbing that comes off of those, then that goes to the house. So there's a lot of things that help to hold, you know, especially if they're made with Schedule 40 PVC, pressure rated PVC. That shouldn't, you know, be ripped off the ground. But then again, trees shouldn't come toppling down either. It looks like our tornado warning here has expired, but I want to go back and let Ashley just go through and explore more of what's going on there into Columbia County, because it does reinforce why we do these breaks in the action when we see something that is potentially tornadic. Ashley?
Absolutely, Rich. You know, I was just talking to these people off camera. They say of all the hurricanes that they've experienced in this, that have come through in our area over the years, they say they've been here for a number of years. They never experienced anything like this and never seen damage like this. You know, this is their full backyard, and it looks like it was a pretty cool deck out here, and it's just in rubble, so to speak, and it's definitely upsetting. You know, I've been messaging with Emergency Management Director Shane Morgan. He you know, really wanted to reinforce this is the type of day you have to be extra safe out there. We've seen the heavy winds. I want to mention earlier, this just came back to me when we were on our way here to this property. Sluggo, you'll remember we actually did see part of State Road 47 had been blocked. Just for a few moments, they were able to get cars out, but it looked like there were some power lines down on trees, at least probably 2 trees. Is that what they were able to tell us? We weren't able to get through there, but then, you know, our prerogative was to come here. So, yes, that's definitely what we're looking at here at this point here in Columbia County. Definitely a lot to look at here on this property for sure. The rain is still coming down. It's a slight drizzle. Definitely improvement on that front for sure, but definitely a lot to survey and to see out here as well. I'm going to touch base with Shane Morgan once again.